Bang! What's going on, people? We're back again for another YouTube live stream. This time, we're doing the Parlay Madness Show episode 2. Last week, I introduced a new show to my YouTube channel. It's also streaming on Twitter right now, X. And it's a parlay show. I'm very good at parlays. There's a big misconception in the sports betting industry about parlays, if they can be profitable, if they can't be profitable, if only squares bet them, etc., etc., etc. So I decided to make a show on it. So last week, I gave a big introduction to the show. I went in depth on parlays, if they can be profitable, if they cannot be profitable. Because as you know, I don't like to just come on here and say, this guy's going to win, that guy's going to win. I like to go in depth on the intricacies behind sports betting because it's way more important than if Jim Miller's going to get a submission last weekend, which he did, which we said, which we cashed. So shout out to him. But now that's dead. That information's gone forever, right? I told you Miller was going to win last week. He won. I bet him. But the information's gone forever because it don't matter if Jim Miller was going to win last weekend because he ain't ever going to fight Gabriel Benitez anymore, right? So I like to educate and tell you about the intricacies behind sports betting, and parlays is a big part of that, right? Last week, I went in depth on that. And so I've decided to do a live stream every single week where we go through every single fight on the card and we try and find some parlay pieces for those fights. And at the end of the show, we gather all of the potential parlay pieces that we've gathered throughout the show. And then we put them into some parlays, we play them, and hopefully we cash on the weekend. So without further ado, we'll get straight into the show. I do have a special guest as well, episode 2. And I'm bringing in the big guns. I'm bringing him in right now. We got my man, as you know, MMA line mover, the newly rebranded line mover. How you doing, bro? I think you're on mute. Are you on mute?
God damn it, man. Like I was saying.
You effed up the intro, bro. You effed up the intro, man. You had one
Like
shot.
I was saying, I already messed it up, so... But basically what I was saying is I got the hat on, as you can see. So shout out to the 416. Shout out to Toronto. That's where this one's going to be at. Yep. This is going to be a good card, my brother. And I think I see some value on this one. Pre-flop, I did okay last week. Overall, I didn't win on UFC, but came back a little bit in football. So not too shabby. I don't want to get too far into that, but just trying to be transparent and trying to make some money this week. That's what I'm getting at is... The study's been put in. I've been here all week, been grinding. So let's see if it comes to fruition. And I got a birthday tomorrow, so let's get some of that birthday luck going, my man. Appreciate you having me on.
Bro, if it's your birthday, we got to cash big this weekend. So happy birthday, my man. You want to tell the people what birthday it is, how old you are? Or are you going to keep that?
28, brother. 28.
Can you hear me? I think my microphone's effing up, man. What's going on these days, man? There's always some problem. You can hear me, but it's bad quality, yeah.
I can hear you fine.
All right. What is this, man? Why is it saying no battery? Boys, can you hear me in the chat? My audio's good. My audio's good, yeah? Are you sure? All right. We're gonna carry on anyway. It's JB and JB betting royalty, bro. We got a lot of people here, man. JB in the house. Jewish Bear, aka MMA
Let's
Line.
go. Let's go.
And shout out riding high, my man Fubu. We got Mo Miz. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. Lucrative having internet connections. You already know how that goes. I'm gonna take this microphone off then, because boys, don't worry. I'm gonna sort out the microphone because I know it's like probably kind of clear, yeah. But it's probably kind of ugly. Anyway, boys, we'll get straight into the first fight of the night. You know how this show goes. And I will say, though, this show is very random, as in I've just started it. So I don't have a full-on process of how I'm going to do it. It's the second show ever. So I think over the next few weeks, we're going to get some form of process on how we break down the fights, maybe what type of bets we look at. Obviously, they're all parlays. But I think at the end of the show, we'll start making it more regimented. Like we'll have one three-legger, only money lines. Then we'll have one more of a long shot parlay with prop bets, stuff like that as we go. So at the moment, just bear with me. I don't have a full structure for it. We're just going to wing it. But the information is the information, which is the most important thing. So The information on Malcolm Gordon versus Jimmy Flick is a little bit up in the air, and I'll kick this one off. So Jimmy Flick was a +110 underdog, right, when I saw the line, and I thought to myself, this may be a decent spot to bet the underdog. Jimmy Flick versus Malcolm Gordon, kind of the type of fight where you want to bet the underdog. Not really sure anyone's going to blow the other one out of the water. Obviously, early finishes can happen, but in terms of fully dominating the fight and looking like a big favorite, I wouldn't really see anyone as a clear side in that regard. So the fight's going to be fairly close. You look at the underdog, right? Both fighters have good chances to win. You look at the underdog. And I looked at Jimmy Flick and I was like, you know what, that might be a good bet at +110. So I looked into it a little bit more. And I thought, yeah, that was a decent bet at +110. But obviously, the market didn't agree. Everyone's been betting Malcolm Gordon. Malcolm Gordon's sitting up at like -210 at the moment, which is absolute insanity, in my opinion. I don't understand how it can be that. I actually am considering that there may be a leak in terms of maybe Jimmy Flick's camp knows that he's got an injury going into the fight, or maybe Jimmy Flick himself is not there mentally. As we know, the guy already retired once in his career. And then when he came back from retirement, he fought Charles Johnson in the UFC and he looked horrific. And he got finished in round 2, I believe it was. May have been 3, but I think it was 2 or 3. So I guess I am a little bit spooked off by the line movement, but let's just talk about the stylistics as I know it. So Malcolm Gordon always engages in the grappling. I haven't really seen a fight of him where he doesn't engage in the grappling. Outside of getting knocked out early by Sumu Daji, the guy always engages in some type of grappling entanglement. He does all right. He's not the worst. He did a few cool things on Makayev. He kind of won the Figueiredo fight by grappling. He's not the worst grappler of all time. But you don't really want to be a guy who engages in the grappling all the time if you're facing someone like Jimmy Flick. We've seen what Jimmy Flick can do to these guys. We've seen what Jimmy Flick done to Nate Smith on the Contender Series. Contender Series, or was that regionals? All of these. You're
talking about Nate Smith?
Yeah, Contender, right?
That was Contender, yeah.
All of these matchups mesh into one. But yeah, I mean, we saw what he did to Nate Smith, just throw him about, reversed every single position, got him in about 1 million submissions, couldn't tap him out, but I feel like Malcolm Gordon would have been tapped in that fight. We know what Jimmy Flick is about, right? Flying triangle on Cody Durden. The guy's very dangerous from his back. The guy's dangerous on top. He's got very good transitional skills. He's a good scrambler. Outside of that, he don't really have much to offer. His cardio ain't great. I just believe in this fight that Jimmy Flick's going to have so many chances to finish it. Like, I can't see a world in which Malcolm Gordon doesn't give Jimmy Flick chances to finish the fight. So I'm going to pick Jimmy Flick here. I'm going to bring up the fight card now, and you can kind of see, you can follow me along what I'm saying. And I'm also going to bring up the betting odds. And so when I bring up the betting odds, we can kind of go in depth on if there's any value on any lines. While I'm doing that, line mover, can you give us your prediction on the fight? Small breakdown.
Yeah, bro. So check this out. I think if you're betting Malcolm Gordon here, you're crazy at -215. So that's going to be out of the equation right off the rip. Let's just look at the props. Really don't feel like I'm getting any value here. Maybe Flick KO, but he has no power whatsoever in the striking, so I couldn't take that. Even as bad as Malcolm Gordon's chin is, I couldn't take that. Flick's been knocked out a few times. I just don't feel like I'm getting enough on a +210 knockout. I feel like a lot of people are going to be looking finish props here. No way this fight goes the distance, but giving me +270 on a flyweight fight to go the distance, I don't know. I know it's super crazy because like both these guys are super crazy, wacky fighters. They're prone to getting finished. But I just think whoever wins this fight is going to be whoever actually fights to get the top position. I've seen both these guys like just make boneheaded mistakes in the BJJ. But I'll say Malcolm Gordon's a little bit better. Just maybe has a little bit more to fight for. So it's either a pass for me or a fight goes the distance on a flyweight fight. And I just think that's too greasy with these two guys. So I'm probably just going to have to pass on this one, bro, in all honesty.
Yeah, like I feel you. And the format of the show is if we see any plus EV legs, not that we're betting them, But what we do is we write them down in the potential parlay legs piece here. And then at the end of the show, we're going to go over them. So I kind of agree that the plus 270 is plus EV. I think that line is a little bit wide. Not to say that I'm going to play it, right? You don't bet every single line that you think is wide. That's not a good betting strategy. But what you do is analyze if they are wide or not. And then you can make a decision based on that, based on your reads on the whole event, based on your reads on that specific fight, based on if you've got any other bets on that fight, based on how confident you are in the read, etc., etc. But we can pick out some legs that we think are minus EV or plus EV. I think plus 275 on the fight goes to decision holds some value. So I'm going to write that down right now. So we got Flick versus Gordon, GTD plus 275, right?
Yes, sir. I got plus 270 on FanDuel, but I'm really what are we using for this? Bet online?
I'm just going to use Bet Online for the whole thing. Someone came on before and was like, no, that Bet Online is different.
You know what? That's fair. But at the end, I'm going to give a little FanDuel just in case anybody got.
Yeah, but just for the sake of the show, we're just going to use Bet Online.
Bet Online. Perfect. All right. I'm going to bring up Bet Online then.
It's going to be similar, right? So
I think that's fair. That way everybody has the opportunity to bet it.
So I think Jimmy Flick money line at plus 185? Like I'm literally just going to go on the odds here because
there you go. You got it right there. Okay, perfect. I can't see that though, so I got to bring it up myself. It's plus 275 goes the distance, plus 185 Flick.
Yeah, and like this might not be up to date by the second, but I ain't wasting my time going on websites and stuff. It's just can't be bothered. So we've got it here, plus 185. Jimmy Flick money line. I'm writing that down. The line's way too wide in my opinion. I don't understand how he's this big of an underdog. As I said, I actually believe that there may be some foul play because I just don't really see why the line keeps blowing out. But it is what it is. So Jimmy Flick money line at plus 185. Flick Gordon GTD plus 275. Anything else we like on that?
I really don't like this fight at all, but those would be the two I would agree with you on Flick. So yeah.
Flick submission is plus 315. I'll actually write that down as well. Like we don't need to use them all at the end, but just
I think that's fair. Yeah, I mean, dude, Malcolm Gordon getting submitted.
Yeah,
not a shocker.
Yeah, Jimmy Flick that's kind of his path, right? So, like, I feel like if it goes to decision, probably Malcolm Gordon wins. But anyway, we'll leave that there. The next fight of the night is Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Priscilla Cachoeira. You want to give a small breakdown on this? I'll do the same. Like, we'll keep the breakdowns quite short because the whole point of the show is kind of to look through the odds. So we'll keep the breakdowns like concise, and then we'll speak a little bit more in depth about the actual fight when we go over the odds for the fight.
Copy. So right now I'm just going over the odds, right?
We'll do the odds after. So just
okay,
break down
perfect.
the fight. Yeah, just break down the
Got
fight.
It.
Like just for a couple of minutes, and then we'll go over the odds.
Yeah, I'll keep this one short and sweet. I think Jasmine, if she doesn't get knocked out, will win this fight. Like, I think she's going to be able to get takedowns. Priscilla hasn't shown that. Jasmine's shown the ability to get takedowns in her fight. The only time she wasn't really able to get takedowns was against Natalia Silva. Yeah. Silva used her movement and footwork to evade her, and that's why she wasn't able to get a hold of her. Priscilla's not going to do that. She's going to walk forward. She doesn't have footwork. She's not young like Natalia Silva. So I think she's going to be able to get takedowns here. I think she's going to be able to do it quite easily. That being said, I would never play her at a money line here. I think it's absolutely absurd because on the other end, it's not like this girl can't knock her out. It's not a superior grappling advantage, and on the other side, you just have no threat. So I think Cachoeira is a knockout threat, and I think that time in between her not getting takedown is where Jasmine's really, possible to get knocked out. She uppercutted Dobson, who's not that good, but I've seen her get knockouts in the past. She even got Lipsky too. So, yeah, this is a weird one, man. I would say dog or pass from a money line standpoint, but that's my breakdown on the fight.
Yeah, I like Jasmine in this spot. I think she's going to get the takedowns. I don't really see Priscilla stopping the takedowns. I mean, Jasmine is very durable. She comes forward and she's going to keep going for takedowns, right? And that's basically the type of fighter that you want to fight Priscilla Cachoeira. Obviously, shit happens in MMA. Priscilla hits really hard. It's possible that she gets a knockout in round 1 or something, but if she doesn't get a knockout in round 1, I don't really see her having the gas even to finish someone like Jazz in round 2 or round 3. Because I actually think Jasmine Jasudavicius has a great gas tank, So it's not like Priscilla maybe can get taken down a couple of times, but then knock her out late because Jasmine's gassing from the takedowns. Jasmine, I don't see gassing out. I also don't believe that she won't be able to get the takedowns anyway. And I don't really think Priscilla's going to be able to stop damage from top position. So I don't think she's going to be able to do a comeback win because she's probably going to be fucked up by the damage that Jasmine will deal out. I know Jasmine doesn't really have a finish in the UFC, but I think this could be the one. And I just believe that the top time upside is just way too much to be looking at Priscilla for a bet or to discount Jasmine finishing. So we go over to the odds now and we have a look. So we both said Jasmine's going to win, but the minus 370 money line there, maybe we're not getting that much on the bone there. Over 2.5 rounds is minus money. I actually feel like the fight's more likely to finish, so the fight end inside the distance is plus 110. So I'm just going to write that one down right now. And if there's anything that you see, just let me know. And I'll write it down as well. So we'll kind of do a joint effort here. Any legs that you like, just tell me. And any legs that I like, I'll tell you. So I'm going to do Jasmine fight DGDT, doesn't go decision, plus 110. I like that. What else we got here?
I really like that bet. I would even consider taking the under 2.5. But you're saying just take the fight. We've talked about this before. Yeah, just take the fight, doesn't go the distance. Okay. I like Jasmine by KO. I think she could get top control here. I think she could elbow her. I think she could get the crowd into it. And Keshwar is just kind of a fish when she gets on her back, dude. So I think, round 3 KO because it could be in round 1, yeah, for sure. But is the ref really going to stop it in round 1? Nah, I feel like she's going to have to add up damage. You mentioned that she has a great gas tank. So I'd be looking I like to stick to round props when I think somebody has a cardio edge. Yeah. I'll be looking to go in the later rounds because she's going to try and grind it out. She's cool to just kind of hang in half guard sometimes too. I think she's going to look for points to finish this fight. Probably later in the rounds though. And I'll be looking to play her round 3 KO, possibly depending on the price as well.
Yeah, I completely agree. Jasmine's not really a type of girl that's going to get in top position and just transition from position to position and set up an arm triangle or something. She doesn't really have the skill to do it. But what she will do is get on top and kind of just throw a lot of elbows, go Hail Mary a little bit. She's very aggressive on top. And so oftentimes those fighters take a while to finish because they break their opponent down versus one quick, slick move where the fighter's tapping out from a rear naked choke because she's able to take the back or something. Someone like Miranda Maverick, who finished Priscilla Cachoeira, that can come in any round because she's very slick at taking the back. And once you take the back, she's good at locking in the rear naked choke. Same thing with Gillian Robertson. She doesn't really grind you down. She can finish you in round 1 just the same as she can finish you in round 3. She doesn't really do much to kind of blend it together. She's just a singular moment type of girl. Obviously, fighters, they fade later in fights, so it's more likely that she would get a finish a little bit later if the grappling is going back and forth like that. But yeah, I feel like Jasmine's style definitely leads itself to a round 2 or round 3. So I've written that down now. Round 2 is plus 700. Round 3 is plus 900. It's much, much better at most bookies. Bet Online have very, very poor round props numbers. They're quite known for that. So, if you just shop around, you probably be able to get a lot better than what is shown here. And I think that's all, man. Doesn't go to decision. Jasmine TKO, Jasmine round 2 and round 3. That's all good for me. We could add in TKO round 2 and round 3, but then it's just getting too many legs. So I feel like we got 4 on there. We'll just stick to that. If Cachoeira gets the round 1 KO, potentially that's there. I'm not going to put it in. We've already got the doesn't go to decision. I'm happy with that one, man. So we'll move on to the next fight. Johan Lioness versus Sam Patterson. So I'll do this one. It's a weird fight because I feel like I don't know much about Sam Patterson. I've seen a lot of him, on the regional scene, but I haven't seen much from him at a decent level, Whereas with Johan Lioness, at least we've got 4 UFC fights of him. Or I think 5 if you include the Contender Series, or maybe 4. But with Patterson, he obviously got knocked out very early by Yanao Ashmos. And so maybe
by
he's being
me.
a little bit underrated. Yeah, you knocked him
James,
out.
I knocked him out, bro. And everybody now, they think because I knocked him out that this guy's just going to go out. Not everybody's me. Not everybody's the Red Fox.
Exactly. Not everybody has the power. Not everybody has the wherewithal to do what you did.
The chutzpah.
Yeah, whatever you said, not everybody has that. So does Johan have that? I don't know, man. The guy's a little bit inconsistent. You know, he looked pretty good on the Contender Series against Burleson. Early knockout, though, it is what it is. And then in other fights, he hasn't really looked that good. You know, I just don't rate him as a fighter. Like, I definitely think Patterson has a massive cardio advantage here. I think it's actually brutal. Like, the cardio advantage is insanity here. Johan gasses out early and Sam pushes late. Like, if the fight goes late, Sam Patterson's going to be putting it on Johan. But his chin is up in the air. He can be caught. Johan does hit hard. This is a weird fight. I like the plus money on Sam Patterson. I think that that's the side by far. I think that he has more upside to win via submission. And he could also win via knockout, in my opinion, like a cumulative knockout late. And I think he can win by decision, and he's got more cardio, better output, stuff like that. The only really advantage I give Johan, I guess, is probably physicality and power. I don't even know about durability. Maybe. It's not like I've seen the guy take a bunch of shots. You know, he basically quit against Gabriel Green. I don't really know that he has so much better durability as Sam Patterson, even though I believe that will be the narrative going around, because we've seen Sam Patterson cracked a couple of times and wobbled a few times. It could be that, but I'm not just going to say like there's no way that, you know, Sam Patterson doesn't have similar durability to Johan. I'm not going to say that. Outside of power and athleticism, like just finishing ability, I don't really give Johan too many advantages, man. So you could say that he's just going to go out there and get a first round knockout. It kind of seemed kind of obvious based on Sam Patterson's last fight, and now he's going up a weight class, fighting against somebody who hits very hard for that weight class. But I'm going to go with Sam Patterson for the win. I'm going to say that he gets a finish in round 2 or round 3 via submission. And then we'll look at the props after. What's your breakdown on this fight, bro?
Yeah, so I'm on the Sam Patterson side with you on this one. I think he's a better fighter overall. I think, you know, if he didn't get knocked out in his last fight, just cover the record. These guys are similar, facing similar competition. I don't even think Johan Lanes won that Evan Cutts fight. It was kind of a weird stoppage as well. He gasses in his fights a lot. Patterson has really good cardio. I actually think he has slick power, too. You said the power advantage, and I do agree with that, of course, but I think Patterson has some slick power as well, and the grappling advantage, of course. But this dude looks like a long-necked TJ Dillashaw in his Tapology picture, man. I like this kid. I think the English guy is going to get it done. Maybe a homer pick for you, but not for me. So the bias isn't there. The Future, I think that's an interesting nickname. You know, blonde-haired, you know, guy, the Future. There's another guy in the UFC like that the UFC likes. So I'm gonna go with Sam Patterson in this one. I like the late round props, another cardio edge. Round 3 submission looking good. Round 2 submission looking good. I think he could even knock this dude out, maybe even ground and pound, because this dude Johan is a quitter. And yeah, I like the submission though. I do.
Yeah, I like the submission. He often gets the submission when it comes later, like his opponent starts shooting in, and he's got a good front headlock series, which is like my favorite type of submission.
That online though, I looked at the line. They're guarding it crazy. Like they are.
Yeah,
I think it's plus 1,200 for the round 3 sub. So,
all right, we'll have a look now.
Take that for what you want.
So, what legs can we do on there? I mean, you know what? I kind of do want to do. You know what? I do want to do money line sides. I'm going to write all money lines down as well, actually. So we think Jimmy Flick money line is the money line side there. Me personally, I think Jasmine is the money line side at minus 375. Was she minus 375? Yeah, minus.
What's this fight? Sorry.
No, sorry, bro. I'm just going to put money lines down because I think what we'll do is at the end, we'll go through all the money lines and we can make a money line parlay. It's a lot easier than making like Jasmine to win in round 2, parlay,
right.
Jimmy Flick submission round 3. Like that shit's a bit crazy.
Hell yeah.
I want to give some not easier ones, but just like lower. What's the word? Like lower
Variance.
Yeah, the lower variance one. Just for the show. So yeah, I've wrote her money line down. What's the money line side here? I mean, we're both on the Patterson side, so I guess we say Patterson.
There you go. Yeah. What's this fight to go the distance? I mean, I'm sure that's.
Oh Jesus! I thought that was
I thought it was too. I saw the same thing.
I'm like, what? 425. What the fuck?
All right, I think that number's absolutely absurd. I think there's I think there's value on that. I don't know about you, but
yeah, I do. I think you got to give it at least 20% plus to go to decision.
I think that's an insane number.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to tell me plus 250, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I would have assumed. Plus, even for the over 1.5 is plus 110. You know what? I kind of like the over 1.5 as well. Because I mean, if I'm on the Patterson side, I don't tend to think that he finishes Lioness in round 1. I feel like it's going to come in round 2 or round 3 because Lioness, in my opinion, will gas. But I actually can't oftentimes I like the GTD more than the over 1.5. And this is something that a lot of the viewers can take home as well. And I'm sure you would have heard this quite consistently throughout a lot of people, right? It's like if the fight does get over 1.5 rounds, a lot of the finishing ability dies down because fighters get very gassed out after 1.5 rounds. Fighters are kind of comfortable in the fight at that point. They've been hit a few times. So it's less likely to finish when it goes over 1.5 rounds. So oftentimes I'll just take the goes to decision because sometimes it's a massive price. But in this specific fight, stylistically, I actually prefer the over 1.5 than the GTD. So I'm going to write down the GTD there for you. I'm going to also write down the over 1.5 for me. Just as some potential legs, and then we'll have a look at it at the end. As I say, we're not going to bet all of these legs. We're just putting down some potential legs. So over 1.5 plus 110. I like that, to be honest. And then Lioness is, Patterson GTD is plus 425. What about Patterson sub? Or Lioness
plus 300.
Yeah. Patterson sub plus 300. Yeah. I don't really have much of an opinion on that one.
I don't know. I think he does submit him, but here's the thing with the goes the distance. Does Lioness finish him early or does Patterson, finish him late? What's Patterson's finishing ability?
I don't think it does GTD, but I feel like there could be some value on that one. So Lioness wins in round 1, 200. That's horrific. Lioness KO round 1. I mean, that's definitely a path right there. Lioness KO round 1 is plus 275. I'm not really feeling it, man.
I feel like it's just like it's baked into the market that Patterson got knocked out by Ashmole's. I just think
It was plus 275, like just over 25%. I don't really see too much value there. The over 1.5 is intriguing. Patterson plus 123 money line is intriguing. Patterson sub at 300. I don't know, man. What do you think? Is there any value on the sub?
I think if he submits him, it's in round 3. So I would say maybe there's a shot on the round 3 submission.
True, but all right, we'll add that in as like a crazy one.
Yeah,
we did
for the long shot.
Round 2. What's that? Patterson round 2, round 3 submission. Is that
would? Oh, they have that on Bet Online. I don't know.
I don't know about Bet Online.
I don't think so, brother. On FanDuel, I will say I'll tip this line. It's like plus 2,800 or plus 2,600.
Yeah. For what?
Something for the round 3. So then the round 3 was actually plus 900. My fault. Okay. It was plus 900. My fault.
Patterson round 3 plus 2,000. Right? No, that's KO, TKO.
Yeah, it's TKO. You're right.
Patterson round 2 submission 800. Round 3 submission 1,200, like you said. What about just the round props in general? 425 and 750. I don't think he finishes in round 1. Like, to be honest, I'll be very surprised. I actually would. So Yeah, it's all right. I'll write down round 2, 425, and round 3 is plus 750.
I like that.
And then we said the round 2 sub and round 3 sub as well.
That's
800 and 1200. It moves that to 800, and then it moves that to 1200. It's just, what's the likelihood of him finishing via strikes? It's possible. I definitely think it's more of a sub, but like,
yeah. Linus is a quitter, and he just winds up in submissions. Sam Patterson's super long, lanky. I think it's a submission. I do. I really do.
Well, anyway, we've got some legs there, so we'll leave it. We'll go on to the next fight. So the man from England, the neck from England, hopefully.
That thing is crazy.
That's a mad thing. All right, where we at? Gillian Robertson, Polyana Viana. You want to break that one down, bro?
Yeah, man, I'm loving Robertson by KO here. She's been talking about in her interviews, even in her last fight, she was trying to deal damage to Pierre Rodriguez. It wasn't Ricci fight, but Pierre Rodriguez. You know, Cormier asked in the post-fight interview, she kept sticking her arms out there. You were trying to deal damage, and she said, I wanted to show my nickname, Jillian the Savage Robertson. I wanted to get those elbows in. Everybody knows me as a submission threat. She got that big win by submission against Rose Namajunas on the grappling scene.
Oh, yeah.
Got that submission against Cachoeira where she was the thumb in the eye, as we all know. And her submission skills are slick, but I think, she's going to get on top. I think she's going to try and deal ground and pound here. Even in her interview with James Lynch, she talked about trying to get the TKO. So I like inside the distance for Jillian here. Just off the rip, I think I like Jillian here. It's pretty obvious, just talking stylistically, because Viana loves to play off of her back. Jillian Robertson maybe doesn't have the best wrestling, but she's not going to really need it here, and it's improving. She's 26 years old. I don't think she's, damaged. She's not, wear it out. She looks to be getting better. I really think she gets on top of Viana here and makes a statement. Her last TKO win was in Canada as well. I don't want to get conspiratorial, but it was against Frodo Girl. I think this is another top spot TKO, either from Mount or Crucifix. Yeah, loving it here. Huge advantage on the mat.
Yeah, I completely agree, bro. I ain't going to bore the viewers with just repeating what you said, but I feel like she's got a big advantage on the mat, and I don't see Polyana Viana stopping the takedowns. She's obviously the better striker, but I can't think of someone that Gillian Robertson is better than at striking, so it doesn't really mean anything to me. It's not like randomly now she's usually the better striker and now she's the worst striker, so it's going to completely change her game. I mean, she has absolutely horrific striking, Gillian Robertson. I have seen guys come into my gym and within 2 weeks they have better striking than Gillian Robertson. I don't want to be rude, but, facts are facts. Maybe they did some boxing before or something, but she's a really bad striker. But I don't think she's going to need the striking here. She's going to go for takedowns. She's going to get the takedowns. And she's a very good jiu-jitsu player. This is MMA, man. She's going to get the takedowns and she's going to do some MMA shit. TKO is a good look, bro. I kind of like TKO. Obviously, everyone thinks it's going to be a submission. I don't mind a TKO. Polyana Viana, very weird fighter, to be honest. I don't really rate her. I don't know. I guess she could she's definitely got a chance to hurt Jillian a little bit on the feet. She does kind of throw straight shots, but she ain't a good striker herself, really. And then on the ground, she got some potential for a submission win. She throws up arm bars from guard. She has got a couple of submissions on her record, but I don't know, man. She's been submitted as well, so it's not like she's this amazing jiu-jitsu player. I just believe that Robertson's going to finish her. I mean, I don't know if I lean TKO. It probably would be a submission, but I definitely love the TKO price. You're talking about $750 versus submission, which is $140. I mean, that's insane. I mean, that difference is crazy.
I mean, we're talking about a girl who in her interviews is literally saying, I want to get a TKO. And I'm not saying that always pans out that way. The fight's going to play out how it plays out. And I think a lot of it is dependent on the ref, to be quite honest with you. But if she gets on top and just starts landing elbows, I don't see how Viana gets out. She's really good positionally. Viana is not good positionally. I think this is kind of binary here, man. And maybe there's something that I am missing, but just look at the shirt, man. Sharp. You seem to agree with me, so there you go.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna write down Gillian Robertson TKO. We're gonna do Gillian Robertson money line. I mean, what's the money line side? Like, I'm gonna say Gillian Robertson at minus 300. I'm gonna say it. I didn't think it was, and I thought I was gonna bet Polyana Viana, but when I taped it, I was like, oh no, like there's not like she will get takedowns. You know, when I taped it, I was like, she's gonna get takedowns, the girl, and if she gets takedowns, like she probably will cover minus 300. So you might call me crazy, but I think Gillian Robertson at minus 300 is, if anything, it's the money line side. Probably accurate, but like if anything, it's the money line side.
I agree.
So yeah, so the next one is going to be Robertson TKO 750. We like that. Plus 750. You know what? I like, bro, this is a theme for this card. The round 2 and round 3 props. I really like that. Round 2 and round 3. Do you think it will come in round 1, or are you feeling the round 2 and round 3 with me?
If it's a TKO, I don't think it's in round 1. I think Polyana is good enough to survive. Like I said, it's dependent on the ref. Dude, the ref's not going to stop it after 1. Or she'd have to realistically be pummeling the piss out of her, bro, in round 1 for the ref to stop it. And I just don't see that. Women's 115. So no, I don't like round 1.
When I was taping, I didn't see any round 1 finishes from her. Has she ever got one? Maybe I didn't watch the fight, but I didn't see any round 1 finishes. I saw a bunch of finishes. I didn't see any round 1 finishes. I'll get her up and we'll have a look at her record.
Yeah.
I'm sure she got one in her 20-fight career, but I didn't see it. Like the Piera one was round 2. The Cachoeira one was round 2. Round 1. Oh, Cachoeira 1 second. I remember that. Yeah, 1 second. I actually bet on her via submission.
It was in round 1. You're right.
Look at that. 1 more second, then we go to round 2. The Agapova one was round 2. That's what I was thinking of. Piera round 2. Agapova round 2. Cachoeira round 1. Back in the day, she got Pearl Gonzalez round 1. Round 3. Okay, so she got 2 round 1s. And then some in her early career. But most of them are coming in round 2. Round 2, round 2, round 2, round 2, round 3. Yeah. So most of them are in round 2.
I really feel like it's going to be round 2.
Yeah,
Gut feeling.
Like I feel like round 2. So I've written that down there. TKO round 2 is plus 425 and round 3 is plus 650. And if we go insane and we do TKO round 2, if we just lose our mind, it's probably going to be a massive. Robertson TKO round 2 plus 2,000. Boys, we don't even need to parlay that shit. We just play that. We don't even need to parlay that shit. TKO round 2 plus 2,000. Right,
bang.
Boom. All right. Next fight, boys. We're getting through it. Cydney versus Tavares. So I'll break this one down. Obviously, a rematch from the Contender Series fight. I feel like the fight should be evens. I don't feel like Tavares should be an underdog like this. Probably Tavares is like if it goes to a decision, I feel like Cydney's going to be the one putting it on late. I think that's pretty clear to see. But I also give Tavares some finishing upside early, which is funny because he obviously got finished early last time out. But I give him the higher finishing upside, even though he was the one who got finished. But Cydney looks durable, though. But I do think that he just, like, Tavares hits fucking hard, man. And he's very dynamic, good boxing. I mean, we see the way he was landing that overhand, like, time and time again, that step-in shot to Cydney in the first fight. He just kept landing the same shot, same shot, same shot. So I feel like he's got a chance to do it again. I just feel like the fight should be closer to a pick'em, personally. That's just how I feel. I feel like the reason it's not is because of the first fight. Because I think if you watch the first fight, like I know the line was the same when they first fought, but if you watch that fight, I don't see how you can make Cydney a minus 200 after that first fight. You know, I mean, Tavares won the first round up until the knockdown, in my opinion. It was a weird stoppage as well. It was an early stoppage. There is a chance that Cydney sleeps him again. You know, I don't know if Tavares has the best chin of all time. Kind of remains to be seen a little bit, in my opinion. But yeah, I feel like this might be a little bit of recency bias based on the first fight. What I saw, the fight was, you know, pick'em-ish for 3 minutes. Well, Tavares is favorite in that fight. Tavares looked like minus 150 in my opinion up until the stoppage. Not that I think he's minus 150 overall, but just in those 3 minutes he did, right? Anything could have happened late, especially because Tavares will probably start well and Cydney's probably going to come on late. But yeah, I feel like Tavares being a little bit underrated here. I think he can get a knockout in round 1. I think Cydney in round 1 is possible again. I think Cydney KO is possible again. So those are my thoughts on the fight. We'll have a look at the odds in a minute. What about you, bro?
My fault. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't have a great read on this fight, and I don't want to pretend to have a great read on this fight. I feel like there's limited data on this one. Just gives me a lot of weird vibes as well. I would agree. Tavares is the money line side. Just not sure who I think wins this fight, honestly, my man. And I'm not gonna lie to you and say that I do. But I do think violence occurs.
Yeah.
So that would be my take on the fight. Is I think somebody gets violently finished, and I don't know who it's gonna be.
Yeah, so I mean the props are tough, and like at the end of the day, guys, we're only writing down legs that we believe are plus EV. We're not just writing down legs what we think is going to happen. So if we don't think there's anything plus EV here, we're going to leave it. We're both saying that Tavares is the money line side slightly, so we'll write Tavares here as the money line side, as I've been doing for every bet. It's plus 150 on Bet Online right now. I don't really see much value in any of these over and unders here. I mean, oh sorry, I'll bring up my screen. I don't see a value in any of these over and unders here. We've got a few. So I'm going to leave them. If you see value, you can let me know, but I'm personally going to leave them. Cydney inside the distance, 135, kind of shitty. Tavares, 175, kind of shitty. I mean, that is his money line. Like at this point, I'd be looking at Tavares decision plus 600. Tavares inside the distance, 175 or decision plus 600. Decision, in my opinion. I don't think there's any value in the inside the distance line at all. Especially not when the money line is basically the same. Cydney inside there's no value on any of this shit for me. What about you, bro?
This is another one I think everybody might think doesn't go the distance, may go the distance.
Yeah, they're both tough. I mean, Tavares, right. I don't know, but I don't think they just. Yeah, I don't know. I think they seem kind of tough to me, good,
maybe
ish fighters.
My fault. Just thinking to myself, maybe we just. Do you like the Tavares side? If you like the Tavares side, I would be willing to let that go into a parlay. But I pass on this one, man. I really don't got a great read.
What's the GTD then? Plus 200.
I don't like that at all. I just feel like these guys are both finishers, man. But I could see it.
They are both finishers. I just like to fade the narrative. I don't think there's value on minus 260 ends inside the distance, personally. If I was going to play GTD 200 or ends inside 260, I'd play GTD.
And that makes sense. Because the status quo, I guess, would be the best word, would be that this fight doesn't go the distance. And I don't have a great read on it, and that was my pick. So there's your answer.
Cydney's never been finished. No, I'm not saying he can't be finished, but he did lose that fight against Vogel, the other dude we saw in the Contender Series. And, I mean, that guy puts a lot of pressure on, right? And, yeah, he didn't get finished. So I think there's a chance where Tavares wins by decision. He just lands the bigger shots, and he just doesn't get clipped. So I'm going to write that down just as a mad one. I'm not saying I'm going to bet it or anything, but we'll write it down there.
Looks like people in the comments like the KO, for what it's worth.
I was saying I'll jump on the jump on some of the comments. Boys, you know, I ain't a professional at this shit, man. Like, your boy, like, it's kind of just starting back up the content and that. I ain't that good at keeping on the comments and chatting to my man, the guest, and I got my coffee, and, like, we're trying to do 10 things at once, the parlay
Trying to win money.
Trying to write down all of this shit and also make sure you're seeing my screen and going on the odds and then going on the... There's quite a lot going on here, boys. I need an assistant.
I'll interact with them.
What are we saying anyway? Let's see some comments. James is the real sharp in MMA. Thank you, brother. My man saying, if I make all this money sports betting, I shouldn't feel the need to sell, right? Like, why would I sell if I make all of this money?
God.
Let me educate. Let me educate a little bit. So the guy probably just doesn't know, right? And this is a big misconception around the sports betting industry. So there's two main reasons, right? There are many reasons, but there's two main reasons that I sell my picks, even though I make a lot of money from sports betting. The first reason is that once you start making a lot of money from sports betting, and once you've been betting for 15 years like me, you get banned, you get limited, you get restricted very regularly on multiple different bookmakers, meaning that it's always a cat and mouse game with the bookmakers, right? Anyone who's made a lot of money from sports betting will understand this. Anyone who's made any good bets, really like consistent plus EV bets, even if you haven't made money, will understand this, right? You get start getting restricted from a lot of places. So in order for me to still profit, get money from my knowledge and help other people profit as well, it just makes sense since I get banned from all of these places, right? So that's the main one. And I saw this a long time ago. I've been getting banned for many, many years. And I saw the writing on the wall. So that's the main reason why I would sell my picks. The second reason is because why the fuck would I not have a second income stream? That is stupid. If I can get another income stream from my picks, or I could just get one income stream from betting myself, why would I not choose two? It makes way more sense to choose two. Would you rather one portion of money or two portion of money? It's a no-brainer, right? It's obvious. And on top of that, the money that I'm taking, I'm doing that in exchange for my knowledge, which is literally helping people make thousands of dollars all the time. So yeah, two very easy to understand reasons why I would sell my picks. So that's the reason, my man. What else we got? Love hunting for round 2, round 3 props. So do I. Makes you feel better about your 152 money line. But is that on Julian Robertson? That's an insane line, bro. Anyone can get flashed. I don't question on chins until there's a pattern. Yeah, and there ain't really too much of a pattern on Tavares. Like, obviously, that was an early stoppage, but it also wasn't a great look because he did still get buzzed from it. He was still obviously rocked from it. He has obviously been knocked out before as well. So is there a pattern now? 2 knockouts, both in round 1? I don't know. Like, the jury's still out on his chin, in my opinion. Dixon saying, fun fact, Cydney has won both rematches in his MMA career. In fact, he finished both opponents faster than he did the first time. So I'm betting Cydney KO in the first 60 seconds. Damn. Nice, bro. Tavares been knocked out in 30 seconds. Yeah, exactly. It's true. It's true. Cydney's going to KO this guy. Maybe, bro. Maybe, bro. What else we got going on?
Some hot takes. Jeez, 60 seconds, man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I want to make a joke about that.
60 seconds. What odds are you getting on that, bro? Bomb, 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 bomb. Bruce Banner. Bang. Hey, who's Bruce Banner? Is that the fella in like Superman or Batman or something like that? Bruce Banner. JB, you don't know, bro.
I'm thinking Bruce Wayne. Now you got me confused. Bruce Banner.
Oh, Bruce Banner is the Hulk, yeah? Oh, Bruce Banner, the one who turns into a Hulk. Bro, I need to get back on the weights, man, if you're gonna call me Bruce Banner, bro. Well, I guess I'm Bruce Banner, but not the Hulk, you know what I'm saying? It's tough being this tall, bro. Like, hard to put weight on, you know what I'm saying? But we're getting there. We're getting there. Why am I Bruce Banner, though? Is there a reason?
I need to know.
Man's out here getting banned. Get banned all the time, bro. Man said Bruce Jenner. Come off that,
What?
bro.
What a profile pick, by the way.
Who is that?
I don't know. It's just
You got a good profile pick. You got Peyton Talbot, right?
oh, that's my man. That's my man. Cashed on him round 3 submission.
Did you see when I posted Peyton Talbot could compete with Sean O'Malley and it went viral?
No way.
You didn't see that one? I posted that on Twitter like a couple of months ago, and everyone went insane.
Oh, a while back. Okay.
Crazy. Quote tweeted me, all of that madness. You didn't see that?
I do remember you posting that.
Yeah, bro. Everyone was going insane, bro. Everyone, you're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm telling you now, bro. If Peyton Talbot fought Sean O'Malley tomorrow, that shit would be a war. It would be the who did Sean O'Malley fight? That terrible guy that was
Moutinho?
Like, yeah, Moutinho, right? It would be like the Moutinho fight, but Peyton would actually be landing hella shots. But it would be like the Moutinho fight. Like, it would be a war, bro. Back and forth insanity. Sean will be outlanding him by tons, but Peyton will be rocking him more. Like, that would be an instant classic. Instantly, even today.
Talbot's going to cause for some fun fights in the UFC, man. He's going to be very exciting.
Thing is about Talbot, like, he could definitely get submitted. Like, someone could just go out there and submit him, you know what I mean? But in that fight against Sean O'Malley, stylistically, that's a mental fight, bro. I just don't know if he's going to get there in time because someone's going to beat Sean, and then he's probably going to run into a grappler who he just has problems with or just takes his back for 2 out of 3 rounds and he can't get the finish or something like that. But Talbot has insane potential. It just depends how much he wants to pay attention to it, because if you watch his interviews, the guy basically says, like, you don't really care about MMA too much. It's just something he's doing at the moment just because he likes it. He's not going to do it. He might not do it long term. There's way more to life. He might die tomorrow. So why would he focus all on MMA? So, like, mentally, he might not be there, but the raw potential is crazy, bro. And trust me, if that fight ever gets made, we're going to see the repeat of what happened when I said that Robert Whittaker was past his prime after the Marvin Vettori, and everyone went insane, bro. I know, JB, I know you saw this one because we chatted about it a little bit. When I posted up Robert Whittaker was past his prime, and everyone on Twitter went insane. Yo, you fucking idiot. You don't know anything about MMA. Like, going insane. And then the very next fight, he looked career worst. Robert Whittaker's 2017 to 2019, that was his prime, boys. Like, relax, bro. 2022, 2023, that ain't his prime. And then everyone's kind of just shutting up now, and they realize that I was right all along. The exact same thing will happen with Peyton Talbot, trust me. I'm putting my balls on the line now. I don't know if we're ever going to see it, but like, the guy's got it. You know what I mean? The guy's got it. And stylistically, that Sean O'Malley fight is a bang one, but I don't know if we'll ever see it, man.
I hope we get to.
Talbot versus Yan. See, Yan would just take him down, though. That's the thing. Different. Stop glazing Talbot, bro. You're being annoying. What's glazing? Is that,
and it starts.
Is glazing a American word? He could be amazing, but it's too soon to say he beat. I didn't say he beats O'Malley. Wake up, brother. Open your ears. Open your nostrils. You're not listening to me. I said it would be a great fight.
Good fight, yeah. I agree.
Dude look like they rave together. We do, bro. Me and JB. Don't worry, man. When I come to bro, what state are you at again? I forgot.
Texas, bro.
Bro, when I'm in Texas, you already know we're going raving.
I think I'm down, bro, but I think he's talking about Talbot and O'Malley. So we'll have to hit up Talbot and O'Malley to come rave with us.
Nah, man. He's talking about us, bro. Like, you know.
Right. Who else would he be talking about?
Talking about the boys. JB and JB.
Get some strobe lights going, the music. Let's get it.
We had a little intermission. You know how these podcasts go, boys. Like, if you want to watch this, like, boring, yeah, I think this guy's going to win. Plus 200 is a good number. And you can go and watch all them other guys, man. Me and JB, we're kicking back. We're having some fun. We're drinking a coffee. We're talking about raving. It's a chill podcast. And so the next fight, Charles Jourdain, Sean Woodson. So I'll break this one down. I think Charles Jourdain's pressure is going to be a lot for Sean Woodson to deal with. But Sean Woodson don't really crumble under pressure. Like, obviously, Julian Erosa is a little bit different, but look what happened to Charles Jourdain. So these guys are battling it out to see who's the best person that Julian Erosa's beat. You know, who's second in line now. Julian Erosa's like their dads, and then there's the sons battling out to see who's the strongest son. I do think that Charles is going to have some good pressure upside, and I think that at some point he might be able to catch him. But I don't know, man. Sean Woodson's a sniper. And I feel like the reach advantage, the height advantage, I think Charles Jourdain's going to struggle early, you know. I'm not going to lie, man. I think early he's going to struggle. Early, he always struggles. So I don't know why it will be any different in this fight. I can see Sean Woodson stealing 2 rounds. And then maybe round 3 gets it put on him, but he stays. I mean, when has Woodson really like been rocked and that and like knocked out and hurt? What, in the Saldana fight, and then he managed to survive and actually come back to draw the fight, you know? Like, yes, Saldana knocked him early, but Saldana's mad, like, weird strikes from all over the place. Outside of that, Julian Erosa, like, he was tagging him a little bit, but I don't know, man. Terrence McKinney, he didn't get hurt by Terrence McKinney. McKinney just grappled him. He ain't really fought that many people, I understand, but I think Sean Woodson is the money line side is plus 170. And I think Charles Jourdain is going to finish him late, or Sean might win a decision or something like that. So, yeah, look, plus 184 is smoking a bit of crack, man. So, yeah, that's it. JB, what you reckon, bro?
Yeah, man, 1 unit, 1% of my bankroll on Sean Woodson. I'm going at plus 185. I believe I got him at. I don't want to misspeak, but yeah, I got him at plus 185. I like this guy, man. I think he's good. I think he's long, rangy. I think it's going to be really hard stylistically for Jourdain to get on the inside. Jourdain, you know, he would have to take this dude down. I'm loving some of the comments here.
Yeah.
I think, you know, Woodson being really tall and long, it's going to be hard for Jourdain to get him down if he wanted to take that strategy. I hear some people talking about that. Jourdain's not the type to shoot takedowns. Like, he has a grappling deficiency himself. And I don't think a Woodson's like a complete fish on the mat either. This is going to be a stand-up striking match, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Maybe with some cage clinching in between. But here's the thing. He's going to have to try and get into range. And I think on the way in, he's going to eat check left hook. I think he's going to eat flying knees, big strikes from Woodson. He's going to get in there. He's going to take the range with that teep. And I just like this guy striking, man. I think this is this line is absurd. Dude, this line is absurd.
Yeah.
This is my favorite bet of the week. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say.
I agree, bro. We're taking the stand, man. Like, plus 184. Now, what's going on, man? Like, I don't really understand how you can make Woodson plus 184. Like, why? What? Because I'm trying to think of the reason, bro. Like,
this guy's Canadian, and he's coming off a big finish win by guillotine, which I don't want to say was like fluky or anything because it was a nice guillotine. He adjusted the position very well. It was a big win. And then the Kron Gracie fight, like Kron Gracie, bro, you didn't even finish that guy. Like,
yeah, I don't really understand the line. The upside for Jourdain is the cardio, pace, power, and pressure, right? Because like he's very, very tough, and it's tough to see him getting finished by Woodson. Because Woodson doesn't have like one punch knockout power. I feel like if Jourdain gets finished, most of the time it'll be like a flash knockout, bang early, big powerful guy. Because to finish him via like accumulative damage seems like he's just a bit too tough for that. You know, like once he gets in his rhythm, obviously it can happen. So I guess the fight probably will go late, and then yes, I do agree that Charles Jourdain, like. I think round 3, Charles Jourdain will win. But I think round 2, Woodson will win. And so if it comes down to round 2 and you got a plus 184, I don't really see the love for Charles Jourdain. People are laying minus 200, bro.
Dude, I could legitimately see this guy kneeing his head off like Patchy Mix did to Rafian Stotts. Like, his legs are just so freaking long. It doesn't take that much to get to Jourdain's chin. Jourdain's like not trying to knock on him, but he's a midget, bro. Like, this dude might just lift his leg up, knee him in the chin on this, because he's going to have to find his way in. And I think that's the, like, That's Sean Woodson, man. That's the puzzle of Sean Woodson. Got to get past this reach. Yeah.
He needs everyone, bro. Like, he lands knees on everyone. So, yeah, I'm not surprised if he does it here. Jourdain will walk forward and pressure him, which Sean Woodson is used to. So, yeah, I guess we like the Sean Woodson side. We'll write down Sean Woodson money line here, plus 184, madness.
Let's go.
Any specific props on this one? Like, it's nothing I love too much. Charles Jourdain round 3 might be a little bit of a sprinkle. Anything you like on here, bro?
I don't know about Jourdain round 3 because I've seen Woodson fight in round 3 and actually look pretty decent. He does slow down a bit, but he fights through it. So, man, I really actually see Woodson finishing this guy. I know people are going to call me nuts, dude. I think people are going to call me nuts, but I just see either check left hook on the way in or a knee, flying knee. And how ironic would it be if, like, Charles Jourdain, Air Jourdain, the flying knee guy, he just gets knocked out. And we've seen it.
Stands. But plus 500, is there any value on that TKO line in your opinion?
That's a weird line. Because, like, who is Woodson knocked out, really?
Colin Anglin.
I feel like that line should be a little bit higher, man. And
Jourdain's so tough, bro.
I know, and that's what makes me think it's really gonna happen, man. It's contrarian, it's wacky.
Sorry, boys, I ain't got the finger. What about this, bro? Jeez. Front choke. Let's go.
He'd have to hurt him bad, and I could see it, but gut feeling knockout. But yeah, I don't see value on it. At 1,800, what is he choking? What, a front choke, like you said? Yeah, Darce choke. He has some pretty good Darce choke setup.
Yeah, he'll go for subs, and we already seen Jourdain be subbed. We've never seen him be knocked out though. I mean, it's just there, you know. It's 500 versus 1,800. I wouldn't mind a little sprinkle on the submission there, but I think I'm just gonna pass on this fight in terms of like bets.
Props.
Like I think the money line for Woodson, we agree on that. I think that's cool to leave it at that. I don't think we need to press it and add anything unnecessarily. Like I said, we're trying to find plus EV lines, not just lines to have lines. And I feel like the plus EV line in this spot is the Sean Woodson money line and not too much else after that. So we'll leave it at that. And we'll go on to the next fight, which is Brad Katona versus Garrett Armfield. So I'll ring this one off quickly because we're going a bit long now. So I'll just be quick. So I think Brad Katona has every upside you could hope for in this fight for the most part. You know, I do think Garrett Armfield is the better boxer. I think he's probably a faster starter. But I mean, Brad Katona has all the momentum coming into this fight for many different reasons. I think he's got the output advantage, the pace advantage. I think he has a grappling advantage. And I think he has the level of competition and experience advantage. You know, the guy was fighting on The Ultimate Fighter a long time ago. Like, he's been around this scene for a long time. He's got a win over Kyler Phillips on The Ultimate Fighter. And I mean, Garrett Armfield has fought nobody really compared to Brad Katona. Kyler Phillips and Bryce Mitchell. And he's also got a loss to Merab Dvalishvili and Hunter Azura, as we see here. So, I mean, the guy's fought a high level of competition. He's fought Kyler Phillips, Bryce Mitchell, and Merab Dvalishvili, and he's 2-1 against us. It's kind of crazy. Obviously, this was a while back. Shit's changed since then, but it's still a good sign, right? Timur Valiev, he came off that fight there, split decision. Like, you know, the guy's paid his dues in MMA, and he's getting a good shot at the UFC, and I think he's going to beat Garrett Armfield, and I actually think he's going to finish him. So that's my prediction for this one. I think he finishes Garrett Armfield. Yeah, what do you say, brother? I don't know if I saw on your Twitter. I think you may be on the other side.
Yeah, I am. I like Armfield here, man. I think there's some upside to him being the younger fighter, 6-inch reach advantage. I think he could be making some improvements. A lot of people were on Dan Argueta last time against Miles Johns, a guy who actually trains under Trey Ogden with Sorry, the fight we're talking about. Can you remind me again? I lost memory already.
Katona versus.
Okay, Katona, yes. So Katona, I think has upside for finishing against Armfield here. A lot of people saying it could be a sub. I think if you're just banking on the cardio, like shitting the bed for Armfield, which is very well possible, something like we haven't seen yet. I think knockouts available too as well late. So that's something to keep in mind. Although I think sub is smart as well. I'm on the Armfield side though. I think like we could see improvements here. I'm banking on the improvements, and I just think there's a I just think Katona's overpriced here, man. I got him in on Armfield at plus 180. And although I do think Katona is the better fighter, I just got this at about a 60-40, especially when he fights to such thin margins on scorecards all the time. I actually thought Valiev won that fight, and I rate Valiev's striking a little bit lower, grappling defense a little bit better. But the thing is, like, Ogden's a wrestling guy. I think he's a pretty high IQ guy himself. I'm going to give this dude a shot, and I think his wrestling could be improved. And even versus Gibson, like Katona wasn't like pushing the wrestling 100%. And that's something that worries me in the long run. Everybody talks about his fight IQ, but I'm just not 100% sold on it. And I think with the coaching improvements, the boxing could land here. And I like the rear uppercut to the left hook. That's a combo I've seen of Armfield. He talks about it being his favorite combo too, so I'm not going to hide that. I think that's something that could land here, especially if Katona's level changing. Yeah, give me the guy with the bigger reach, younger guy. And if his cardio holds here, I think he can win the first 2 rounds and, not get finished in the 3rd round. Steal a decision. And I like this guy at value.
All right. So we're on opposite sides on that one, which is good. So I'm just going to put my picks down here for this one, bro, because we need to put some picks in for.
Yeah, the fight. Exactly. We got to make something, right? We got to disagree on something, though. I didn't want to agree with you the whole card because then it just gets kind of boring, right? It's just like, what are we doing?
Boring, bro. But we have to put something for the parlay later, so I'm just going to put Brad Katona, and then ends inside the distance plus 125.
Dang.
I like that. I think you're on the other, like you think it goes to decision and you like the Armfield. I like ends inside the distance and Brad Katona. So that's cool. Plus 125. I do like Brad late. I feel like he's going to put Armfield through the ringer and potentially get some late type of finish. So I look at number 2, number 3. The guy was going to shoot wrestling. I know you said he didn't push it against Gibson, but I don't really see a world in which he doesn't just grind him and put pace on him and put him up against the cage and then shoot, elbow, grind. Like, I don't really see a world in which this is like a lower pace fight or Katona doesn't push the pace in the grappling and the striking, me personally. So I'm going to go with that.
Yeah, it would make sense. It's just something I noted in his last fight for sure. But yeah, I think he's going to try and grapple Armfield here, and I'm just hoping that Armfield's equipped. It's kind of a risky bet if you're considering I'm just banking on the upside, right? I'm not going, but I really think it's there, especially at this young age. So I'll be going with that.
Fair enough. Round two is 750 and round 3 is 1100. I'm going to write that down there. Katona, round 2, 750. Round 3, 1100. All right, next fight. Bang. All right, next fight we have is Allen versus Evloev. So I'll let you kick this one off, bro. What are we thinking about this one? A great matchup in the featherweight division.
You stole the words right out of my mouth. This is a banger. Bang, bang, banger. I think this is the main card opener, if I'm not mistaken. People kind of shitting on this. Thank you, bro. I really appreciate that, for real. No doubt about it. And this is an exciting card here. Like an exciting main card to start. And I was just thinking about it in my head. Like, everybody's kind of shitting on this card. It's like somewhat of a lackluster card in the scheme of things, especially with like what we have. Right.
Because the pay-per-view, everyone's moaning, but I like it. I like it just like you, bro.
Yeah, man. I just like, dude. I think it's because what we have upcoming and what we haven't had UFC in so long. So people just want the like sauce right off the rip. I think this is a great freaking opener, man. And Evloev is a really upcoming prospect, undefeated. And I think, with that wrestling upside, what is he, minus 185, it says there on Tapology? Yeah. I think that's pretty crazy with someone so talented. And the reason you're getting such a low number is because of the opposition. And it's the talent that Allen has, the fighters he's fought. Everyone wants to talk about the level of competition. Yeah, I think in the last few fights, Arnold Allen has fought the better competition, but Cater one was kind of weird. He was definitely winning, but dude kind of just freakishly hurt his leg. And if you were going to tell me Allen was going to get the better of him in the early exchanges there, I would have told you were right. Cater's a guy who wears you down over the fight, as the fight goes on. So
yeah,
I just don't trust that Allen's going to have the grappling defense to just not keep up with the pace that Evloev is going to push here. Coming out of TriStar, I think he's at. It's not a big gym that I'm on right now. I know Zahabi's a great coach and all, great grappling coach, but it's kind of a jiu-jitsu style. We haven't really been seeing the best prospects come out of there. So I know he fought Max in his last fight. That's the fight that he did take a lot of damage in as well. That's something to be noted. It was a close fight, but definitely took a pretty good whooping there. We've seen guys come back differently from that in the future. So, yeah, man, I'll have to be going with the Evloev side here. Looking at props, maybe I'd have to see. So, but just as a fight, I like Evloev here. I think Arnold's talented. I think he's a great prospect, but I think it's time for Evloev to come up in the rankings.
Yeah, we'll jump into those props soon. And I kind of agree with what you're saying, though. I feel like it's Evloev's time to shine. Arnold Allen almost had his time because he was fighting Max in that number one contenders fight. Everyone was speaking about him potentially being next in line for the title. But then he fought Max and he lost. And that's not to say it has much bearing on this fight. But I just believe that the stars will align and Evloev will get his shot at the title. I think we're destined to see Ilia Topuria versus Movsar Evloev. And I think that will happen for the title. There's an early prediction on the Volkanovski fight. Maybe later this year. It may even be that Evloev gets the next shot. I don't really know who's in the featherweight division. I always forget fighters and stuff like that. But if Evloev's win this fight, he could definitely face the winner of Volkanovski Topuria. I don't think he'd have to show much more. So the fight's a great fight. But I haven't seen much from Allen to tell me that he's going to be able to stop takedowns from Movsar Evloev here. Something that we know about Evloev is that he averages 5 takedowns every 15 minutes or 4.92, 4.72, which is very, very high for the featherweight division, very high for MMA in general. Not a lot of people are doing that. And he's going to go to what he knows best, which is wrestling, right? Yes, there's been a couple of fights where he hasn't pushed to wrestling, like the Mike Grundy fight. But we know why. It's because Mike Grundy was trying to wrestle him, right? And he just had a striking advantage. Similar in the Nick Lentz fight, he did shoot a couple of takedowns, I think. But he was just happy to jab, box and stuff because he was just a bit of a level above. So he was happy to do that, right? And that was a bit of a weird fight. Overall, I think Evloev's going to be able to take Allen down. I've seen Allen taken down by Mads Burnell. I've seen him taken down by Amir Khani. I know that was a long time ago, but no one's really tried to grapple him since then. Nick Lentz tried to grapple him, but Nick Lentz was old at that point. I don't really rate Nick Lentz as a grappler at that point in his career anyway, so it doesn't tell me too much. Allen's probably got better since the fights where he got taken down multiple times, but Evloev is way better than those guys. So even if Allen's got better, I think, this is how I'll explain it. Mads Burnell and Amir Khani took Allen down, right? But that was 5 years ago or whatever. So obviously Allen's got better. But Evloev is way higher level than Mads Burnell and Amir Khani. So I feel like it evens itself out. Yeah, Allen's got better, but he's facing the hardest fighter he's ever fought with that stylistic matchup. So I don't think it's going to be much different to them fights, except for I do think Evloev wins the fight, right? One thing that I don't love is that Evloev loves putting himself in submissions. He's been in submissions quite a few fights in his career. He's been rocked, but he's never really been rocked that bad. He can be hit. He does take some shots. He's not invincible, but he's dominated everyone he's fought, right? It's kind of like Dricus du Plessis. Dricus has been in trouble in fights, but he's also dominated everyone, right? It's a weird one. It's like every fight Dricus gets in trouble, but every fight he dominates as well. So yeah, maybe Movzar's had these singular moments like when Grundy put him in a guillotine, or like when Dawodu half rocked him in round 3.
Lopez.
Yeah, Lopez.
Oh, well, with Movzar.
Yeah, Lopez put him in a lot of trouble, but I don't know, man. I think it's...
But he always gets out.
He always gets out. Not only does he get out, but it's very similar to Dricus du Plessis. Not only does he get out of these submission attempts, but he also dominates after, right? So he'll get out of a submission attempt and then he'll smash your face in. And sometimes, like, he could be in it. Like against Dawodu in the 3rd round, he rocked him a little bit. But Evloev took him down off of getting rocked, right? Took him down, took his back, suplexed him, put the hooks in, smashed his face to the bell. And then the bell went, right? And obviously everyone gave Dawodu that round. But Evloev was the one who ended dominate in a massively dominant position at the end of that round, even after getting rocked. Happens with Dricus all the time. He gets rocked, but then he ends in a dominant position. Like the end of round 1 against Darren Till, where Darren Till reverses the position, gets back up, gets on top of Dricus, pounding him out. There's like 10 seconds left. Somehow Dricus gets up, takes him down. And it's just very demoralizing. And that's what happens to Evloev. He gets put in these positions at times, but he reverses almost every single one, and then he does damage. So, look, man, it's definitely there's definitely a chance for Arnold Allen because he's very high level. I love this fight so much, man. Like, Allen's got good front chokes. He could do what he did to Matt Burnell, get taken down, then end up submitting him in round 3. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, he got a round 3 submission minus EV or something like that, but yeah, I don't know, man. I think this is Evloev's fight. I think the takedowns and the pace and pressure are going to be too much. So we look at the odds, see if we can get any value. Minus 190 on the money line. We're both agreeing on that. So we'll write that
I like
down.
that. Yeah, he's going to smash him, brother. And I'm seeing some love in the comments. So I just want to shout out everybody. Appreciate everybody that shouted me out. And if you're coming from my page, my Instagram or whatever, I saw that comment as well.
We'll do that.
Yeah, give my man James a follow as well. True professional here. So got to go give him a follow as well. Subscribe. Click that like button. What the hell are you doing?
My man. Someone asked earlier where they can get plays. I don't even know if my man's here anymore, but if you want to get my plays, you just go to lucrativemmabetting.com and you can get him there. I don't know where he is. He's somewhere. Lots of people in today. Oh, thanks for responding. Bye. Sorry.
Yeah, right?
Bro, it's busy, bro. Like you gotta wait, man. There's a lot of comments, bro. I can't read every single one. I'm trying to hold a show here. It's not a Q&A. So my apologies, bro. But I got to you in the end, but apparently you was already gone. So I don't know. Fubu gave him a website. Thank you, bro. He's unsubbable. He doesn't even change his face. Yeah, I know, mad one. But you know these unsubbable guys, man, like eventually they're gonna get subbed. So is there any other bets we like on that fight? Over 2.5, juice to fuck that. If anything, I play the under. I don't like that over at all.
I think this is good for me to pass on. Other than the money line, I just don't want to be taking methods on this one, getting caught with my pants down. I don't see a clear path.
I think it's like the that Woodson one. We like the money line, nothing much more. Next fight, Chris Curtis versus Marc-Andre Barriault. So this is a very tough fight for me to break down. I've been going back and forth on this fight all week, which means that I'm definitely not going to make any bets on the fight because if I'm going back and forth consistently, it means that I don't really have a good read. Otherwise, I wouldn't be going back and forth. I see too often people are saying, I've been going back and forth all week and I ended up on this guy, so I've bet on this guy. And I'm like, bro, if you've been going back and forth all week, you most likely shouldn't bet on it, right? You're not really meant to be betting on bets that you go back and forth on. You can kind of should just like pass, right? Because that's one of your advantages as a sports bettor. You don't have to bet on every fight like the bookmakers do in the market when they bring up lines for every fight. We can pass. And I know Jewish bettor, I know you're good at passing. It's a superpower to be able to pass, right? It's not easy. I'm not saying that in a derogatory way. It's actually a sign of a good gambler if they can comfortably pass on a lot of spots. So I'm passing personally. My breakdown is that Marc-Andre is going to give him the fight that he wants in terms of pocket boxing. Like he's going to walk forward and just be there to be hit. And I do think Chris Curtis could knock him out. And we might be surprised that Mark kind of quits from being hurt a lot, which we don't really see from Mark, but we kind of saw in a fluffy fight. I feel like we can see it in the striking in this fight. But I also believe that Chris Curtis can be fucked up in the clinch. I saw it in a Marvel fight. And I feel like it can happen in this fight because Mark is very good in the clinch. So, that's another path there for Marc-Andre Barriault, meaning that since Marc-Andre Barriault is like plus 160 or something, I don't have a good read on it, guys, right? Seeing that they both can win the fight. I just feel like the line is sharp on this one. So I don't know if you have any different opinions, bro, but if so, let me know.
Yeah, I see a lot of wrestling advantages, like ground advantage, and I see a lot of boxing advantages on this card, like Woodson, like Armfield, I think has a good boxing advantage as well. I think Chris Curtis has a huge boxing advantage here, dude. I think he's going to absolutely F up Marc-Andre Barriault. He's going to be landing body shots. I think he's going to break him down. Power bar, he has to break you down over time. I don't think that's the way to beat Curtis. I think evasive footwork like Jack Hermanson, frustrate Curtis over time. People are going to mention the Kelvin Gastelum one. I think Kelvin Gastelum looked career best there. Can I say that? Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah. It's just a good matchup for him, though. I think just a good matchup for him.
Right.
Just a boxing fight, right? Boxing fight with someone who doesn't grapple, because he looked career worst next fight, which is funny how it works out, right?
Exactly. And people were betting him there. So I just think I have to go with Chris Curtis here. He's minus 180. I think he should be minus 250 here, in all honesty. And I'm probably going to get poo-pooed on in the comments for that, but I just see him really putting a whooping down on Marc-Andre Barriault. I'm not even a huge Chris Curtis fan. This is just stylistically what I see. I don't think he's going to get taken down here. Vieira wasn't taking him down. Dude defended every takedown. It's clearly improved his takedown defense. He's getting a little bit older, but dude's hungry for a win. He's big in Canada, as has been stated throughout the week. Got a pretty decent fan to react. Like, Barriault didn't even talk at the press conference, my dude. And Dana, let Chris Curtis talk. And the crowd kind of started they booed him at first. And by the end, they were cheering for him, dude. So take that for what it's worth. I think Chris Curtis gets a win here. And I'm not going to talk about what happens later on the card, but I think that's going to prime people for an interesting main event. And, I think the American wins again here. No Canadian.
Yeah. All right. I feel you, bro. And I'm going to go with that. Chris Curtis, money line, minus 180. I'm going to go with your read more than mine. I felt like the line is fairly accurate, but if you have a strong read on it, I'm happy to be convinced otherwise. So I'll write down Chris Curtis money line there.
We'll come back later in the weekend. If it happened to be the opposite, dude, I will take the blame. I just don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah. I agree, man. I agree. I think Chris Curtis, deserved favorite. What about round 2, round 3? You like it?
I do. I really like round 2 as well, because I think that's where he gets most of his knockouts. But he has some round 1s as well. I wouldn't play with the rounds too much. I think KO is perfect, and I'll go with that. Yeah, at most. But it's pretty. I think it's not that good, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know the line on it.
Yeah, 215 inside the distance, 225 TKO. You just got to go inside the distance at that point.
Yeah, you got to go inside the distance. A sub is. I don't think he ever go for a submission, but come on.
Yeah.
10 points.
We'll write Curtis ITD, because I also don't mind that.
Hell yeah.
What about the under? Yeah. See, I don't want to force anything. I kind of like the under as well, though, because Barriault's going to make it a car crash and Curtis is going to be there. So, but the thing is, both guys are tough, so I also don't really want to push it. But we'll write plus 115. We'll also do ends ITD at minus. We'll do under 2.5 at plus 125.
Okay.
I'll just write it down. Maybe we don't use it. Maybe we do. Who knows?
I'm with that. I like that.
Yeah, we write it down. The next fight is Neil Magny versus Mike Malott. So I want to kick this one off because I got a lot to say. So tune in, boys, because I'm about to go on a bit of a rant. Now, I've been trying to fade this boy Mike Malott for a long time. I don't believe he is proper. I know that that's what they call him, but I don't believe the boy is proper. I think there's something a little bit fugazi about my guy. Now, look, he's clearly a good grappler. He's clearly got power. But I don't know, man. There's something I'm not seeing. I'm not really seeing the cardio, and we can speak about that because I know you was in my stream the other day. I'm not really seeing the cardio. Look at this guy, man. I ain't really seeing the cardio. Yeah, I'm not really seeing the pace management. I'm not really seeing the defensive striking ability. I ain't really seeing the fighter in him. I ain't seeing the dog. I ain't seeing it. I'm not seeing it. So I've been trying to fade him, and I've been losing, right? And I did a video for a project that I've got going on at the moment. And the video was basically talking about ace fighters and bogey fighters. So in MMA betting, you have an ace fighter, which is just a fighter where you always pick their fights correctly, right? A lot of people have this with a certain type of fighter. Oh, I always know if this guy's going to win or going to lose. I'm always correct. Then you have bogey fighters, where it's like anytime you bet on them, they lose. Anytime you bet against them, they win. You can't read their fights. Oftentimes, you should pass on those fighters. Mike Malott is definitely a bogey fighter, but for me, because I try to fade him every single time and I lose every single time. But I'm not going to give up in terms of I still think he ain't all that. I still think he's going to get exposed badly. And they're pricing him the widest he's ever been priced in the UFC against the best fighter he's ever fought in the UFC, even now, in my opinion. I think Magny's better than anyone he's ever fought. Even Magny in 2024, I think is better than anyone he's ever fought. But he's the widest he's ever been. Neil Magny is plus 300 in this spot. I ain't having it, boys. The line is wide. Neil Magny should not be plus 300 here. Yes, my man can... Look at this guy. My man can definitely knock him down and submit him. It's possible, right? But, bro, if you don't get Neil Magny out of there in round one, I don't know, man. I feel like Neil's going to push the pace. I'm going with Neil Magny here, man. I'm calling him an outright winner. Fuck it. Neil Magny, plus 300. Neil Magny, round 2 and round 3. Nutty prices. I don't see it with Mike Malott, man. Fuck it. I could go in depth about it. I don't really want to go in depth about it. I'm picking Neil Magny against Mike Malott. What have you got to say, bro?
Yeah, I don't want to go too far in depth about it either. I think the line is super wide. I'll be taking Malott to get a finish here. I think that's a little bit of a square play, obviously. I just think they're going to want to. I just think they're going to want to send the crowd home happy. I think they're giving him a guy in Neil Magny. I think the UFC knows something here. I truly do, and I hate the handicap fights like that because that's not going to be good long term. Like, did they want Raul Rosas to beat Christian Rodriguez Jr.? Probably. Like, did they want Moto to win last week? I don't think so. But it doesn't always pan out that way. So Neil Magny is totally a live dog here. Definitely get what you're saying. Been on the Malott fade train for a while as well. Personally, for me, I'm just not going to touch this fight, man. I'm not going to touch this fight. And I guess we got to throw Magny in money line because that's where the value is, right? Realistically.
I think so.
The thing I want to say about Malott before I pass it back off to you is I just think he's a little bit undersized for the weight class. That's the main thing that I want to point out. I just don't think he's that big, honestly. What is he listed at, like 6'1"? But
yes.
I don't know. Magny's a big old fella, 80-inch, 7-inch reach advantage, which is huge. If this was a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, dude, I'd be all over Magny. So I don't know, man. This is a really weird fight. I'm going square. I'm going Malott, but I don't knock your pick.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, man. Like, Neil Magny's always a big test for people. I know he hasn't looked good lately, but it wasn't too long ago where he didn't look the worst of all time against Daniel Rodriguez. I don't think that he looked great in that fight, but I could see a similar thing happening here where he gets him late. There's a something about Mike Malott I don't like. There's a reason I've been trying to fade him, but there's also a reason I've been losing my money because he's a very prolific finisher. That's something I will say about him. But Neil Magny ain't just easy to finish, right? Who has finished Neil Magny? The top of the top of the top.
He didn't get finished in his last fight either, but I don't know. That was kind of weird at the same time.
It's true, though. He didn't get finished. Like, it ain't easy to finish Neil Magny. Who has finished him? Gilbert Burns, Rakhmonov, Ponzinibbio. Like, he doesn't really get finished that often. Go back and look at his career. And Malott is an out-and-out finisher. If Malott ain't getting his finish, he ain't looking minus 400. I don't think so, man. So he's got finished by Gilbert Burns, Rakhmonov, Ponzinibbio. That's it.
He also got guillotine choked by that dude in that grappling tournament. I think that's a pretty weird look, especially against the guy. But we're talking value, right? But the guy's gotten guillotined, like, bro, the guy's getting guillotined left and right. I don't know.
Loves it. Malott loves a guillotine as well, and he's
That's
very
insane. I just think guillotine knows something here, man. But that's where I'm at on this.
Like, it looks so like what value are you getting? Like, we're talking about value, right? So, like, what value are you getting on? Oh, he always gets guillotined, and now he's going up against the really good guillotine guy at minus 400. Like, what value are you really getting?
None whatsoever. But it's just something to be noted.
I definitely think he can sub him, of course. Like, Magny has shown time and time again, he has no ground game. He doesn't even have good takedown defense. Doesn't really have good get-up ability either, and he doesn't really have any jiu-jitsu. But I don't know, man. He beats a lot of guys. You know what I mean? He beats a lot of guys. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm riding with Neil Magny. It is what it is. I don't believe... It's not really a Neil Magny bet. It's just more of a Mike Malott fade. So we'll see how it goes, man.
Going with the gatekeeper.
So I'm going to write down Neil Magny plus 275. And I'm also going to put down... ends inside the distance, but I don't know. Yeah,
I think Malott KO is my pick here, and
yeah,
I think it's live, but I'm not gonna bet it at plus 350. It's insane.
I just really feel like it'll be a club and sub if he hurts him. I just think he's going to jump instantly on a submission. Not to say that if he hurts him, you might just knock him out, but I lean that he just jumps on a submission if he does hurt him.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't really like any. I'm just going to write down Magny money line.
What do you think about Magny? What do you think about Magny's late finishing potential? Or nothing?
Yeah, I like it because I just don't believe him a lot, and I think he's going to gas out bad if it gets there. And I think Magny is going to, have something like a silver platter. He's not a good finisher, Magny, but I don't believe that Mike Malott is going to grit and push through if it gets late. I think he's probably going to quit. So I actually do like it a lot. I'm going to write it down. Magny round 2, 2,000, and Magny round 2, 2,800. I've already bet on them.
I like round 3 better, but yeah, I like it.
So do I. I always play round 2 if I play round 3 for the most. Not every time, but a lot of times I do because just based on data and historics, I find that oftentimes you'll just lose, and it's just better to cover both because.
What if he's close to finishing him late round 2 and then round 3 comes out and he just submits him? Yeah.
It does happen a lot. I had it the other day. Joshua Van, Felipe Bunez, right? I bet round 2 and round 3. And it was very close to going round 3. It was 30, 40 seconds off. So it was extremely close. And if it would have went round 3 and then got finishing round 3, everyone who bet the round 3 pot would be like, yeah, what a great bet. But, it almost finished in round 2. So it's just tough, like to pick the round 2 and round 3 if you believe it's a cardio advantage type thing. So I usually just bet both. They're massive odds anyway, so you can afford to cover yourself with it. It's not like you're laying juice on both, so then it makes it harder. If these big props, you can afford to chuck around 3 as well, 0.2% or something. So yeah, I'm just going to leave that. I'm happy with those bets. The next fight is Pennington versus Bueno Silva. I don't have much to say about this one. I'm gassing out a little bit. The stream's been going on and that now. Thanks, everybody, for being here. If you are still here, we've got 100 live viewers. Shout out to everyone individually. I don't have much to say about this one. I feel like Pennington is going to make it tough and gritty. I just don't think she's got the skills or the youth at this point. I think Bueno Silva's probably going to hurt her on the feet, maybe knock her down, maybe rock her on the feet once or twice. And I think Pennington's going to change her game plan a little bit. She might start out, even though she doesn't start out super hot, but she always tries to push the pace. But I believe that once she gets rocked a couple of times, she might calm down on pushing the pace a little bit. And so then that will make it easier for MBS to win minutes, win rounds. Obviously, she's got the early finishing upside in all of her fights. She can knock you out, even though she's never knocked anyone out. She still can knock you out because she always hurts her opponents. But obviously, the submissions is where she comes alive for the most part. You know, she's submitted a lot of girls, but some of those have come from the power initially. So I think that finishing upside, coupled with the fact that Pennington doesn't have much finishing upside, even if it goes late. So even if she is pushing the pace late, I don't really think she's going to finish. And then she might not even win rounds because she can still get rocked by a big shot in round 4. And they're women's MMA. So it's like, yeah, I don't know, man. I like Bueno Silva in this spot. And yeah, that's who I'm picking to win the fight. I don't have a massively strong read. I don't really love the fight. 5 round is just weird because of the Silva potential gas with the Pennington, you know, going for. I just think Silva's going to win this fight. I don't know if it's inside the distance.
Sorry.
I don't know if it's inside the distance or decision, but I do think Silva's going to win this fight.
Are you low on Bueno Silva's gas tank, though?
Like, I don't think it's a great gas tank. You know, I feel like she conserves their energy a lot, though, and she conserves their energy quite well. So I don't think it comes into play that much. But I definitely trust Rocky Pennington's gas way more. Like, I think she's going to be the one pushing later, if anything. I don't really see Silva just like dominating round 4 and round 5, more output, stuff like that. I don't really see that. So in this fight, I definitely do give Pennington the cardio edge. But like I said, even if she's got an edge in the cardio, I still think she can lose the later rounds. So I like Bueno Silva all around here.
Yeah, me too, dude. I actually really like her. She's one of my favorite plays on the day. I know it's women's MMA. We don't want to get crazy, especially she's pretty popular play, I would say. But I like the Bueno Silva by knockout look. I think she could really hurt her here. She's switches stance as well, got excellent body kicks. She'll go to the left side as well. She'll switch to the left southpaw stance, and she'll go to the liver. I think that could hit on Rocky Pennington. I think, you know, Rocky Pennington's tough, but you can't tough out a liver shot, end of the day. I think, you know, I'll say it just as blunt as possible. This bitch can crack, man, and I think the KO is completely live here. I think she'd get on top and, you know, do a club and sub as well. The fight to end inside the distance is pretty close to what the sub is as well. I think people will be on the sub. I think they're going to get burned, and I think it's going to be a KO. When has Rocky Pennington ever been subbed? I don't think she has in her career. I think she's been knocked out one time by a Brazilian star named Amanda Nunes in round 5, and the damage accrued.
She's tough, bro. That was just like a retirement. It wasn't even like a knockout.
Yep. And I could see that, man. I could see her just taking damage over 5 rounds. I like the Bueno Silva knockout. Give me round 3, give me round 4, give me round 5. Everybody's probably going to think it's going to be early. I just take the long shot. I think she, just because Nunes finished her in round 5, I'll go with the conspiratorial look that Bueno Silva finishes her in round 5 as well. We don't have to put that in there, but I just wanted to mention it.
Yeah.
And I like the KO. And yeah,
She's tough,
I like KO 5 as a long shot.
That Nunes fight showed us he was tough, like.
Well, here's my thing also. I think it could be like low volume, just like cage pushing, not much going on. And I just don't think like Bueno is necessarily going to be like death gassed. I think she can still land strikes in the later rounds. And it pays more, man, you know? So I like the KO here, though, man. The damage is going to accrue. Pennington shows damage on the face as well. So I do like Bueno Silva money line, but I'll be willing to take the stab on the KO, man. Give me it all day. Liver shot, damage up top. She can even rock her with a clean right hand. I think her striking's better, and I think it's going to show here.
Yeah, I feel you, man. Yeah, the Woon Yanan fight, obviously she didn't look good in that fight, but there's fights that Pennington doesn't look good in. Fighters don't always look good in fights. When you look at her entire career, I feel like she has the skills to beat Pennington here, you know? So I'm not going to say we give her a pass for that. We include it in, but I'm not going to use it as a reason to just fade her.
Last thing I wanted to say about her is, like, look at the press conference, man. I think they're trying to build her up. She just got put into the video game. Maybe because, you know, she's going to be the next UFC champion. I don't know. I really think they're trying to shine her up here, and I wouldn't be shocked if she gets the job done. Although, Rocky Pennington's been on a little bit of a streak here. I think that's why we're getting her at such a close price. I just think Bueno Silva hits a lot harder. I think she's going to land the more damaging shots, and she has sub threats as well. So, yeah, I'll take the younger fighter, Brazilian star. Keep it short and sweet.
I don't really like any props here, so we're just going to move on. We've written down Mara Bueno Silva money line.
Okay,
Sean
yeah, I like that.
Dricus du Plessis, bro. Like, sorry, bro. Did you say something?
No. I said I love it. I love it.
So, bro, main event, man. I ain't going to go too in-depth on this one. We've been going for a while. The main event is obviously a great main event. I was thinking all week long how I'm going to play it. Should I just be square and obvious and play Dricus du Plessis early and Sean late? I just got a weird feeling about this fight. I'm not really confident either way. Obviously, I think it ends inside the distance, but I also wouldn't be surprised to see it go late. Du Plessis seems tough. He pushes through well. Seems like du Plessis is mad, bro. Like, I watched almost all of his fights. I watched every single UFC fight of his coming into this fight. And outside of the Perez fight, he didn't really have any fight where he didn't struggle. Like, he struggled in every fight. He got hurt. He got rocked. He got dropped. He got taken down. He got full mounted. Like, every single fight, the guy's just in big, big trouble. He does this hilarious thing where he gets rocked into the single leg. So, like, he'll get rocked and then he'll instantly just jump on the ankle, shoot a single, super low single. But he's so strong, he ends up getting it, even though he's gassed to fuck. Dricus is a beast, man. He's so unique. He looks so bad, but he wins every fight. And I've actually been betting on Dricus his entire career, or betting on the under, to which I've been burnt twice. Imagine I had the under 2.5 rounds in a Darren Till fight and it didn't cash, which is one of the most insane non-cashes because he finished him like 30 seconds after the 2.5 mark or something like, or a minute after or something stupid like that. And then the first round was insane. Like, that definitely should have been finished multiple times by du Plessis. And even in the second round, du Plessis was getting wobbled all over the place. But yeah, Dricus is a weird guy, man. He's very hard to cap, right? And I don't really want to take a guess on this one. I feel like Sean has the skills to beat him. Like, I think Sean is someone who's very durable, tough, and is very good at slipping and ripping in the pocket to where he may be able to stay safe and then, finish Dricus late. But I also think that Sean's just going to walk forward. He doesn't have great lateral movement. I don't really rate his footwork in terms of keeping distance. His footwork is very good for his game, which is walk you down and just stay out of range with his footwork, but mainly also, with his jab and he does this weird shoulder roll thing. And we know his style. I think his footwork is good based on what he wants to do, but his footwork isn't good for evasion. At least not evasion with the footwork, right? He evades with his head and he slips and rips, and he's more of a boxing evader because he evades with his body and his head, and he's slipping and he's parrying and he's blocking and he's returning, and that's the type of evasion he uses. But I feel like the best style to fight Dricus is someone who can dance on the outside a little bit. And that's not going to happen, right? So Dricus is going to have a good chance to do his hilarious jumping 4-strike combo where he literally just throws the straightest of straight shots. Boom, 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 boom. He's like he's in a karate kickboxing class where he's da, 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 just running forward with that shot. But I think that might catch Sean in this one. Like, Sean is open to be hit there. He just stands in the middle, and Dricus is definitely going to throw that shot, man. I don't really see how Sean's going to get out of the way of that. So I don't know if he's going to survive it. But I'm saying out loud now that Sean is going to get hit with the classic Dricus du Plessis leaping left straight and right straight. Leaping left straight and right straight. I think Sean's going to get hit by that. So I don't know if he's going to get knocked out by it, but I do think it's going to land. And honestly, just that alone is kind of enough for me to just pass overall, because I do think he's going to get hit early. Yeah, guys, I can break this one down for a long time and tell you all of my thoughts, but I don't want to cop out at the end and say I don't know who's going to win. So I'm going to stop the breakdown there. I'm going to predict Sean Strickland to get a third, fourth round knockout after overcoming some adversity with the Dricus leaping straights. But yeah, man, I'm passing on the fight overall. Jewish better, bring us home, bro. You're on mute now. Oh, I still can't hear you. I don't know if that's me or that's you. I believe it might be you. Boys, can we hear JB or not? Anyone can hear him? Round 3, what country? Dig your... Round 3. Who's that? Is that someone in the chat? No one can hear you, bro. So maybe you need to...
Yo.
Yeah, you're back. You're back.
All right. That was weird. All right. All right. So basically what I was saying was, since you talked about the fight from a technical standpoint on the stand-up, I wanted to talk about a little bit of the grappling just really quick. Drake is physical, super mean. I feel like we don't really know much about Sean's wrestling since the motorcycle accident. We saw his back take by a boost. That was something that we all saw on film. So just something to be mentioned. Drake is just mean, physical, very nasty in his grappling. He'll grab your neck, just pull on it. You know, little stuff like that, and I think that over time adds up. Sean really doesn't like the jiu-jitsu. You know, even in the press conference said, let's stand, let's bang. I think Dricus could come out and try and even wrestle here. But maybe not even get the submission. And I think, you know, everybody's thinking Sean late, Dricus early. I think Dricus could actually even win a decision here, and that was talked about again at the press conference today. I'm not saying it's necessarily going to happen. I think this fight, value-wise, could go the distance, though. Sean has amazing defense, as we all know, statistically, and just on the eye test. You know, Dricus might want to prove that he could go deeper into the water, even though I do think he's a good finisher. You know, he's not a jiu-jitsu expert, and Sean might be a better defensive grappler than we're giving him credit for. Yeah, man, this is an interesting one. I think there will be great moments. I think it'll go back and forth. I think the co-main's going to be a banger fight, even though everybody thinks it's not going to be. I think this fight could be a little bit more technical with moments in it as well. It's a middleweight fight. It's going to be exciting. Everybody's saying this fight's not going to go the distance. I think it's going to be a huge parlay piece, and I think it's going to lose, and I think this fight goes the distance, man. I will be backing, though, Dricus du Plessis on the money line side of it. I think people underestimate this guy still. Either way, there's going to be Strickland backers. There's going to be DDP backers, so we'll not get too far into that. I think the guy's just a lot better than people are giving him credit for, man. And although it's awkward, although it's a weird style, so is Sean Strickland, and he was able to win the world title. I'm giving Dricus a shot here, man. And, yeah, I don't know if I want to take by sub. I don't know if I want to take the decision. He could also knock him out. So let me just go money line. But from a value standpoint, I think fight goes the distance is a good bet, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't hate it. Both guys are very tough. I think that's proven. Dricus du Plessis decision, I don't mind that at 9-1. I think the odds are wide. I do believe he can win the decision. I am actually with you on that. I don't love the goes the distance at plus 250.
Has anybody said that, though? Like, I haven't heard a capper this week say this fight's going the distance, or anybody say this fight's going the distance, or that Dricus could win a decision. It's just,
I don't know.
Unthinkable.
Sure. Everyone I've spoken to, yeah, no one's saying that it goes to decision.
Not a soul. Sean Strickland, he's known for going to decision. I know Dricus isn't, but Dricus went to decision with Brad Tavares. 2 rounds left. Who knows? Like, I don't know. I don't know.
No, I agree, bro. Like, I don't love the price, like 250 in terms of betting it. I kind of like Dricus decision at 9-1 more. But yeah, man, like I don't have much to say about this one. I don't like you like the GTD. We'll put that there. Dricus GTD. Woo! We'll also put Dricus decision plus 900 GTD
9-1. That's crazy. I love that line.
All right, bro. Now let's do the parlays, man. So we'll make the parlays.
Let's fucking go.
Get out of here. So this is the fun part, boys. We've broken down the whole card for you, and now we're gonna make some parlays, and hopefully we can make some money together. So what I think we'll do is, and this is just off the top of my head, like this is the second time I've ever done the show. But what we'll do is that we'll do some money line parlays just because it's a little bit less variance. We'll chuck a couple money lines in together, and then we'll do some props in, and we'll kind of just play it by ear. So, what's our favorite money lines? Like,
We agreed on Woodson. We were pretty agreeing on Robertson. We were pretty agreeing on Patterson.
yeah. So if we put in Woodson,
Evloev was another.
let's put in Woodson with Curtis. There's a lot. All right. How are we going to do this? All right. I'll put Woodson with Curtis. And once they're bet, we want to bet them again. I'll put Woodson with Curtis. And we'll chuck one more in there. Money line. Myra Silva. Not a bad one.
I don't mind it. Who was the other one? Yeah, I don't mind it.
Bang. We'll have that. What does that come to? You got parlay calculator? You can do that?
I could bring it up on my iPad real quick. Give me 1 second. Make sure I got the numbers right. All right, parlay calculator. I usually use Action Network, right? So
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Here we go. Boom. So Curtis money line minus 180. Boom. Woodson money line plus 184.
Yeah.
Boom. What's the last one?
Minus 160.
Minus 160. Plus 618.
Plus 618. Not too bad, boys. I don't mind it. We'll keep that one there. We'll do another money line part. We'll get all the money lines out of the way. We got Evloev. We got Brad Katona. I know you don't like it, but fuck it.
That's fine.
Brad Katona, Evloev.
What about Patterson?
Yeah, he's not bad. It just depends how we want to do it. I might bang Jimmy Flick and Patterson in that money line together. And then I might take all the favorites in this one. But it's probably going to be a shit one if it's all favorites. Can you do this one for me? See what we got. This is probably not going to be too good. But
okay. All right.
so
minus
190.
Yeah.
Minus 210. Minus 370. And minus 300.
That adds up to plus a 282. So
we're not feeling it. We might have to bang one more in there. What about Jasmine fight doesn't go to decision?
We already have Jasmine money line in there.
Oh, we do. We can't do that then.
So maybe instead of yeah, I thought this is only money line. Oh, we have Tavares.
Oh yeah, true. We was only doing the money line. Yeah, we can bang Tavares in there.
It's up to you. I'm gonna leave this one on you, brother.
Jimmy Flick, Patterson, and then Tavares. What one do I like out of them? Oh, then we got Magny.
Let's include the chat. What do you guys think? What do y'all think we should hit this last money line with?
284. We got Jillian, Jasmine, Katona, Evloev. Too many favorites. We need to put one more in. We got Jimmy Flick, Patterson, Tavares. I don't know. There's too many.
This is good. I like Patterson, man. I really like Patterson.
You do?
I do. I do.
I'm worried, man. Flick or Patterson? Bro, I would be Flick all day, but I'm just worried about this line movement. I can't lie. I don't usually get worried about the line movement. And by the way, when I say worried, guys, I'm just speaking out loud. Like, I'm still staying to my guns. You know what I mean? Like, but I am worried about it. I can't lie.
Yeah, I think we take all those favorites, add in Patterson, and we get plus 755. I think that's clean.
Done. All right. What's that? That's a 5-legger there.
Plus 7.
How much? Plus
755. 2 nickels.
Jeez.
Yeah, man, that's a good one. I like that.
All right,
I won't play Katona, but I like it.
We'll finish the money lines. What else? We don't have to put them all in though. I got Tavares. I got Magny. Someone's got to lose, surely. And then I got Jimmy Flick. Do I want to include them all? I kind of want to include Magny. I can't be without Magny, you know. I've got a weird feeling that he gets the W. That's a bit of a mad one, though.
Maybe we add that in at then. Mix him into the parlay props, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we could do. What else we got? Gordon, GTD. Well, see, we don't have to use all of these, but these were just the ones that we thought potentially plus EV.
Could I give you the one that I was thinking about?
Yeah.
Earlier today.
Oh yeah, tell me.
So I'm gonna give this out. I like Jillian Robertson TKO 2-3. If
Yeah.
we could, I don't know how we could do that on this because it's a little different on Bet Online, but I like that. I like Patterson TK. Actually, let's just go with Robertson TKO. Let's go with Patterson submission 2-3.
Yeah.
And then let's add in Sean Woodson. That's my parlay right there, and I'm sticking to it.
Do you know how much that is?
All right, Robertson TKO is what, plus 750, right? We had Patterson sub 2-3s plus 900 on FanDuel. Let's just go with that, and then Sean Woodson's plus 184. So let's just go with that. That is plus 24,040.
Jeez.
I think it's so live, bro. That's the funny thing. And yeah, I like that one. And if you want to get crazy wacky, add in that Bueno Silva KO. You're going to the bank, bro. You're going to the bank. You're going to the bank. And it's my birthday. I don't want to jinx it. I just have a good feeling.
All right, let's wrap. Oh, we got fucking loads of legs, man. Jesus. All right, let's wrap up. We've done the one with Robertson TKO, even though I do like that. Katona ends inside the distance. I don't care too much about these ones. Curtis inside the distance. I don't care too much. Magny round 2, round 3. It's not really parlay pieces too much. Dricker's GTD. See, I don't really love any of these ones, and I don't want to like force it. You know, these are potential plus EV legs.
Yeah,
I don't want to force it too tough.
So all right,
DDT. We ain't got that. I like that one. I think I want to put that one in.
And maybe you parlay that because, like, if you take plus 110 and parlay it with a Magny, I think that would pay pretty well. Let me see.
Yeah.
Plus 110 and plus 275. That is plus 688. I don't mind that unless you're looking for bigger odds, but I think that's 2-leg parlay of
but that's
great value.
Like, some of the odds are going to be bigger. Some of them are going to be smaller. It is what it is. We just parlay
Dude,
them up.
I think that's value. I think that's super value.
I want to do some of the rounds because I do like the round ones, man. I think Jasmine's going to finish late. I think Patterson's going to finish late. I think Robertson's going to finish late. I think I think all of these fighters are going to finish late. I just don't know how to do it. We could do probably my most confident to finish later is Robertson. I think she will do it. It's just tough. You can't take the 2-3. You got to take the sub 2-3 or the knockout 2-3. Maybe I go. But I hate picking round 2 over round 3. I hate that shit. I like just playing the round. I feel like Jasmine's more of a round 3 and Robinson's more of a round 2. But that's clutching a little bit. What about Jasmine TKO, Robertson TKO? That will be huge.
The double lady parlay, I don't mind that at all.
Double lady knockouts. I must be going crazy, bro. Two ladies to get a knockout. That's a bit mad.
That is a bit mad. And we have the TKO for Robertson. And what about Curtis inside the distance plus 215 or maybe the under 2.5 there? And then we add that with the Jasmine or the one of these other props.
Yeah, I was more like I don't really have too good a read on this fight,
Yeah, you're right. So you gotta take what you believe in. Katona ends inside the distance is there. Tavares decision was there. It's gone now.
Guys, Flick Gordon GTD. I'm just gonna delete that because I feel like Flick's gonna sub him.
Fair enough.
Jasmine. Well, we need to do some of these round props. Fuck it, I'll just say what I believe. Jasmine round 3 and then Robertson round 2.
Woo boy. All right.
What's that? 900 plus 425.
Hold on. Plus 5150.
Jeez. It's only a 2-leg, boys.
I know, that's a good hit, too. So
that's decent, bro. I don't mind that. Jasmine Jasudavicius round 2. And then round 3, and then Robertson round 2. I feel like singular moment for Robertson, but like beat down for Jasmine.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And yeah, I like that. Maybe we go Tavares money line. You don't like the Chris Curtis, so we'll take that one out of there. We didn't play him, so it's no big deal. I'm just trying to make them a little bit variance. We don't like Drickus decision or good decision.
Bit of a mad one to bang in a parlay. I don't mind it overall, but we'll delete that. Jasmine, I've already done too much now. We can remove her.
What about Flick money line to Tavares money line? Or Flick submission to Tavares money line? It's literally sitting right there, and we haven't used it.
Bang.
What's that?
We're getting through it. So that's 150 and then 315.
It was just sitting there, and I'm like, I don't know. Plus, come again? Plus 150, sorry. And then plus 315. And I like the submission, too, because Gordon is just... God. Plus 938, bro. Damn.
Nice. That's nice, bro. That ain't gonna take much either. Jimmy Flick's money line is kind of his submission, and then all we need is another underdog.
I totally agree with that because he's not gonna knock him out. Even though Gordon's chinny. Yeah, I like this one, man. I think we got through it. I know it took a little while, but 2 hours really isn't that bad for the strategy we did. So
true. Next time we'll do it. As the show goes along, guys, we'll upgrade it. We'll get it going a little bit more. We'll have a process, as I said. We'll go back and forth a little bit. But that's it, man. I think that's enough. I don't think we need to do much more, bro. I agree.
Yeah, maybe.
No, what?
Are we gonna? Yeah, no. I like it.
There's one madness that needs to be done. There's one madness that needs to be done.
There we go, baby. I love it.
Bro, we need to do it. So Magny round 3 has to be done. And it's like, do I want to do it with Katona round 3? Or Robertson?
Bro, what about the Patterson fight goes the distance? We don't like that one.
I kind of think he's going to finish him. I want to do the round 3, bro. I want to do this one. Can you do this last one?
Yeah, so of course, brother. Of course.
2,800. And then Katona round 3, 1,100.
I feel like I got to one-up you now, though. Plus 34,700.
Let me do that again.
It's 34,700. I love it. I love it. What was my parlay again?
Bro, your one was massive.
I know. 24,440.
Yeah, Robertson, Patterson, substitute. Bro, I like that.
I do too.
I like all the individual legs, bro.
I do too. Send me a screenshot of these, man. I'm gonna be at the casino. Yeah, it's my birthday. I appreciate you, James, for real.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on, bro. We'll do it again soon. Yeah, Jewish, if you want to say anything before you kick out to the people.
I appreciate everybody else too, man. I don't just appreciate you. What if there's no people, right? I could just FaceTime you and talk, and we probably wouldn't do that. So this is for you guys. Let's cash on these parlays. Capricorn season, baby. Let's go. The big 2-8.
Appreciate that, man. And then from me, boys, appreciate everyone for being there. We still got 85 live viewers. Rock with us all the way to the end. So I appreciate you. And I'm going to bring up right here so you guys can see. So we got leg 1. You better take a photo of this now, boys. Leg 1, we got Curtis Moneyline, Sean Woodson, Myra Silva. It's going to be gone after this, boys. You can always rewind it. But leg 2, we got Evloev, Katona, Jasmine, Gillian, Patterson. Then we got the line mover parlay. We got the Robertson, TKO, Patterson, sub, Sean Woodson. Leg 4. Leg 5. That's a crazy one, that one. And then leg 6 and leg 7, boys. So bet responsibly. Don't put all your bankroll on this. I'm putting some piece of shit amount of money on this, but I am going to bet them just a little sprinkle, tiny percentage of the fun bankroll. And that's it, boys. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Good breakdown. We'll catch you on the flip side. Good luck on your bets this weekend.